and welcome to Roadside Notes. I'm Christopher, the Route 66 chaplain, and these are the readings from the Faith and Good Courage Journal found at faithgoodcourage.com. Stories from and for the road, a little grace for the miles ahead, and reminders that hope still travels with us. This journal, She Drove It Anyway, is from my entry on July 23, 2026. She drove it anyway, and nobody in her life tried to talk her out of it. That part surprised her. She had braced for all the pushback, the raised eyebrows, and the quiet chorus of, "Are you sure about this?" Instead, her teenage kids helped her pack. Her sister put a tracker on her car. Her best friend called her every evening at 7, and on Tuesday morning in the early fall, she flew to St. Louis. She wanted to see the arch first. Her dad had told her the story her whole life, standing at the base of it in 1974 with nothing but a road map and 2 days off work. She stood there on a Wednesday afternoon with her phone in her pocket and 14 days ahead of her and felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time, like the next thing was entirely up to her. Rebecca was not running away. I want to be clear about that because the world has a habit of writing that story for women who need the road the way men have always needed it without anyone questioning their motives. She had been through a divorce. She had lost a job that she was good at. She had spent the better part of 2 years making sure everyone around her was okay, and somewhere in doing all of that, she had misplaced herself. Not dramatically, just quietly. The way you set something down for a minute and then can't quite remember where you left it. Her dad had driven Route 66 when he needed to think. Told her the miles had a way of sorting things out that nothing else could. She had carried the story for 30 years. This was just finally the right time to find out if he was right. She didn't do it the tourist way. No checklist of landmarks, no racing from one famous stop to the next with a camera out the window. She did it the way I've always believed it should be done. 100 miles a day, maybe 120 if something called her forward. 4 and 5 hours behind the wheel, and then a good dinner and a bookstore if one appeared in a decent hotel by dark. She was never out after dark. Somebody always knew where she was. She had done her research, too. Read everything she could find out about solo female road trip safety and packed her plan accordingly. The tracker, the check-in calls, the texts where she pulled off for gas, good hotels booked before dark every single night. She even had a road trip safety checklist. She worked through it before she left the driveway. She was going to do this thing, and she was going to do it safe, and those two facts were going to coexist just fine. I met her in Needles, on her last leg of the journey. She slid onto a stool next to mine with that easy comfort of a woman who had been doing this long enough to feel at home anywhere she was along the road. She ordered coffee and eggs and pulled out a paperback she was halfway through. We talked the way counter people talk. Easy, no agenda, just two people with nowhere to be for the next hour. She told me about the diners, how she started ranking them not by food, but by whether she felt seen when she walked in, whether the waitress refilled her coffee without being asked, whether the other regulars made room for a stranger without making her feel like one. She told me she had read 4 books, had long phone calls with her kids that felt different than the one she had back home. Looser somehow, more honest. She had cried outside of Amarillo for reasons she couldn't fully explain, and then felt better than she had in months. By the time she hit Arizona, she told me something had shifted. Not fixed. She wasn't looking for fix, just shifted. Like furniture rearranged in a room you've lived in so long you stopped seeing it clearly. Same room, new light. She finished her eggs and left a good tip, tucked her paperback under her arm. She said it might be her last day on the road, and she was going to take every mile very slowly. I told her the road between Goffs Road and Amboy was a mess and closed, but go ahead and grab Interstate 40 west of Calbaker and head back to the National Trails Highway to see Roy's Motel in the Amboy Crater. She smiled like somebody who already knew that. She said I helped make her trip a little better, and she had met some really good people on her adventure. She took my business card so she could check out both Arizona Podcast and Faith and Good Courage. She asked for a hug and then made her way to the door. In my roadside reflection, She Drove It Anyway is not a story about a woman in crisis. It's a story about a woman who knew what she needed and had the courage to go get it. The road doesn't belong to any one kind of traveler. It never did. Rebecca's father knew that in 1974, and Rebecca knew it when she stood under the arch with 14 days ahead of her and felt the next thing shift into her own hands. If you're carrying something you can't quite name right now, if you've been so busy making sure everyone else is okay that you've lost track of where you set yourself down, the road is still out there. It doesn't ask you for a reason. It just asks if you're coming. You can do this safe. You can do this smart. You can do this on your own terms. She did. So can you. Travel well, my friends. Have faith and good courage.